Shnerdcast episode 61.
Hey.
And we're back here. We're back here at the Cold Pad. By the way, hope if you're liking the new format and everything, let us know. We've been
drop them comments.
Yeah, we've been trying to pick it up a little lately. Also going to start working on a type of webisode, of little short.
I'm excited about
like a hot take kind of stuff.
I'm excited about the webisodes because I think what will come from not only the Shnerdcast channel, but you can leave this in here because I'm going to start announcing it here soon. But my Patreon, I would love to do that because it opens up a huge avenue for reviews.
Oh, dude,
over the internet. Me and you just being like, hey, did you watch Mortal Kombat?
Oh, yeah.
And me doing it, we could have done a review right as we watched it and just posted it, which is
2 o'clock in the morning because that's when I finished it. It was like almost 2.
Oh, was it? I woke up at 3 a.m. and I watched it.
I watched it straight at midnight. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that. I'm glad you found this. Makes everything a lot easier. Thank you again, man.
You put it best, but it definitely adds a spark to the wanting to do more and more and more. So everybody listening, we're definitely going to be dropping way more soon. Like it's
a lot more.
Cultcanon, and plus growing out even further. There's other ideas that Ben has, and I'm excited for it all.
Other thing for the webisodes for people who don't like to, I guess, who can't watch everything at once. Webisodes will probably be like 30 to 40 minutes long, and you know what? Those might be the ones that I actually post onto like Pandora and stuff, because that'll be easier because I don't have to cut and then be like, just like, hey, I have more content. You want to check this out? We go into more in depth into some other conversations.
Yeah.
So like always, what you been up to, man? How you been?
Good, man. I just announced the comic book. I still haven't announced the name of it. I'm waiting for the fucking cover.
It's calling you out.
But no, that'll be all set up next. That's one of my favorite things. That's like one of my favorite things I'm working on right now. The comic book should be dropping next month, like beginning to the middle of the month. And for anybody that's like, well, how are you going to do payments? I'm actually going to probably just set up a Facebook store, and then it'll take like Venmo, PayPal, and you can use your credit card information in there. They'll handle
super
all the
easy.
Yeah, it's just I didn't want a bunch of people dropping me their PayPal information, and I didn't want to give my information out to a bunch of people. And I wanted everybody to be safe with the orders, so Facebook's a good way. So the comic book's coming out soon, and that's really my main focus.
It's gonna be sick, dude. I saw some of the previews and stuff.
Dude,
That
and
looks
I'll show
pretty
you
dope.
later once we're finished. I'll let you read through the rough draft of it, printed up without the cover. Super dope still, and it'll be changed in story a little bit in the final draft. But man, super excited. So that's like my first real merchandise from my company. I have my store with all the clothing and stuff. This is my first like in-house product that we printed up and we got done, and then we were like X equals,
pretty original.
Yeah, it's original. It's fun. Other artists have done comic books, but I've never heard an artist at my level do a comic book, so that's pretty fucking cool. Because I'm pretty small still. So.
Well, I'm a fan of comics in general. Like, every now and then I'll go to Barnes and Noble with my girl, and first thing I go to is the graphic novels.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's so many different kinds in the manga section.
Look at what the real comic looks at, which you can go to my IG and pop it up on the screen for them and show them.
Nice.
It's legit as fuck. You've seen it, the Grim Reaper one.
Yeah.
It's dope. It's dope. So anybody that wants that has to hit me up, because there's only going to be 50 to 100 copies, and then I'm never printing anymore.
That's boy.
So everything else will be digital available.
You gotta make 51 for me, bro.
You have to reserve one. They're gonna be $30 to $40. You gotta reserve a package. It comes with a button, a poster, the comic book.
I seen the buttons, bro.
Yeah, the buttons are dope. The buttons are big too. They're not little baby dicks.
Some pretty dope though.
Yeah, they got long dick energy. But no, other than that, just music, man. I'm always dropping music, so I won't even go. Anybody who knows me, there's a new song up every month on my Spotify, basically, if not more. So just that and the reactions, dude. Like trying to stay positive during a time when it's like it feels like everybody wants you to be so negative.
Yeah.
How about you though?
I mean, I've been pretty good, man. Me and my girl just went to Monterey the other day and had a pretty good time out there. It's like same old city though, just very very mask friendly. Always making people wear masks and stuff.
At this point, do you even really care? I don't. I'm going to wear my mask probably the rest of my life.
I'm about to get vaccinated.
Are you?
Yeah.
I'm still gonna wear it even when I do.
Well, same with me too. Fucking my girlfriend does the same thing. She's already vaccinated, and yeah, I'm about to get my vaccination on the 30th.
Nice, congratulations.
Yeah, it's free.
Yeah, I'm gonna get mine soon.
Yeah.
Too. No, I want to get it. The only thing is, I was hoping to wait on a trial result. That was my whole point of not getting it right away. It wasn't that I was like, don't get it. I just, to be real with you, I'm 100% about vaccinations, all sorts.
Yeah.
But
Don't want to be the guinea pig.
I don't want to be the guinea pig, and on top of it, I don't know what the liquid is that you're shooting into me. Like, if you were like, oh, it's hot semen, I'd be like, okay. No, but like...
You don't have to inject that.
No, I don't...
It's good
like
for
I
the
said,
skin.
yeah, exactly. I rubbed it in.
We watch too much porn.
Way too much porn. They do the who was it? The scoop. Like they put windshield wipers under their eyes. Anyways, it's far. That's far and foul.
I was about to talk about amateur facials and shit, but yeah, we should probably skip past this.
No, but the reason I'm waiting is a legit reason. I was waiting just for a trial of
to see what's up.
Yeah, to see, because I've heard a bunch of people say the same thing. The first shot's good. Second shot, you have a 50% chance of getting sick. And then after that, you're fine. But then I read about that lady in whatever state, like Wisconsin or Wyoming or Washington, whatever.
Yeah.
And she had the vaccination, was fine. Everything was good. 2 weeks later, got corona, tested positive. And it was like, so when I hear that, I just basically hear the same results of a flu shot. And that's fine, whatever. But I just want to see one trial run or, I mean, not trial
what
run.
Shot?
One test.
Was it the Johnson & Johnson shot?
What'd you say?
The Johnson & Johnson shot?
I just want to see for the vaccination that is being given out now for free on a
the Moderna or whatever?
Yeah, whatever it is. I just want to see.
Because I heard the Johnson & Johnson shot was only 60% and it got recalled.
Okay, because I just want to see like the statistics. That's it.
Yeah.
Like I want to see what their results are. And,
good thing you waited, because imagine if you got that shot and they're like, actually, you might need another exam.
And now you really like are not immune to this.
Because you're only 50% chance.
Yeah.
Coin
Everywhere
toss.
you go, you may want to be in a bubble. We just warped your fucking immune system. No, that's it. That's my only reason, and I don't mean to drag that answer out.
No, it's all
just,
good.
I'm being cautious with that, and I'm nervous about injecting a random liquid into me.
I'm just glad to hear that. I've talked to everybody.
I know so many people too. They're like, I'm not getting. I'm like, you should. Especially my musician friends. I'm like, if you're traveling,
you're gonna get it, dude. You're gonna die. Why you? I was like, what? Where are you hearing this from?
Yeah, this is just like in the 80s and 70s and 60s. From everything from smallpox up to chicken pox.
Yeah,
this is one of those things that this is how we've always solved it, is something breaks out, we either get an immune system to it or we don't, but eventually they reverse engineer that virus and then they inject it into us, and eventually that's how we build our immune system. It's simple.
No, yeah, I mean,
but like I said, I'm being cautious, but I commend you for getting it, and anybody who doesn't want to get it, no worries, don't get it then. Like that's we're just sharing, like, hey,
I'm honestly
feels this way, I feel this way.
I'm honestly wondering if it's like if people do get it and they die, like if it's gonna be like, well, we kind of told you so.
Yeah. So the question, you know what the real question?
It's like playing Russian roulette. I'm like, hey, if you play that, you're gonna die.
Yeah, it's like,
and it's like, nah.
Yeah, dude, it's really like it. What the real thing is now who's gonna become the zombie population? The ones who got the vaccine or the ones who didn't?
That's true.
I'm just kidding.
That's true. Well, I mean,
just playing.
The people who didn't are probably going to be the ones who survived, because they're going to have the worst time. I should say.
The really shitty part would be in reverse. You guys all you guys live, and everybody who didn't get it gets zombie.
Jokes on you. We injected steroids, so we're running zombies. No, I'm just kidding.
Hello, fucking Dawn of the Dead shit.
Right. Well, I guess getting back to on track, what I was Monterey. They're pretty good, you know what I mean. It's beautiful out there. I fucking love it. Have you been out there?
But remember what I said last time? I've been like 10 years, yeah. Or no longer. It was longer. It was like 14 years.
I think we had that conversation off.
We did last time.
But it's fucking love it. It's a little seaside town, and fucking it's just one of those places where I don't think they could really build much more around the place without kind of destroying like the infrastructure, like destroying historic places. Which it's fucking Monterey, dude. That's like it's been around since like the fucking like 1920s
Yeah,
or
it's been around
10s.
for a
So
while, yeah.
maybe
It's an old city.
maybe even in the old city. But 17-mile drive. Anybody who's never been to Monterey and you're just visiting, 17-mile drive. Beautiful place. There's a few hidden beaches out there. Like they're not hidden. You just got to kind of drive around and find them. Went to the zoo. First time I seen an elephant.
When did you do this? Recently?
Yeah. To the Monterey. We went to the Monterey Zoo.
No, I know, but was it after I
Couple.
seen you?
It was the week after, yes.
Oh, okay. I was like,
yes.
I felt like you just told, but I forget you're like a Monterey rat now. Like you go there regularly.
Kinda. it's the only thing we could really do because
trying to think.
I'm not a big fan of Frisco.
I think I've seen an elephant, but I don't know.
They're fucking scary, dude.
They're massive. They're like gods.
Yeah, they're I mean, obviously the largest land mammal, but it's just to see it in person. I was like, whoa. And dude, okay, so I have this story where, we showed up literally right when they opened, so there was probably like 10 people, including me and my girlfriend there, and one of the lemurs started like making crazy. It sounded like cougars. It was like,
Yeah.
rah, rah, rah. But it was just little fucking monkeys just screaming and fighting with each other.
Holy shit.
And I started to run to like see what it was, and I looked and I turned around, and there was a mountain lion that saw me running, and it was literally like I'll post a picture. I have it on my phone. I'll show you after if I remember.
Did it like?
It was like. Its eyes were literally like circles, bro, like perfect circles. Because
Your
I'm,
ass is gonna get eaten.
and
If that thing
dude,
could get out.
This is what was crazy because I always heard you're in the wild. If you do get confronted, never turn your back to like a lion or a cougar,
Especially a cat. Yeah.
leopard, whatever, because when you turn your back, that's when they attack. And what was crazy is like I was walking like left and right, walking around. The cougar was like straight up, like you could tell it was scared, and I think it was scared because I was running.
Yeah.
And it was just looking at me like following, like it was following me with his eyes, and my girlfriend was like, "Oh my god, like it's gonna fucking kill you."
Yeah, dude, you'd be
And-
the one. It already picked you.
Yeah, it would have gotten me too.
It didn't care about no one else but you.
I turned around, and I guess my girlfriend said it like it got ready. Like, you know what I mean? Got like
Yeah, it started kneading and
It was like got ready, but I think it realized if it would have done that, it just would have just smacked right into the fucking big cats are scary, bro.
No, they are.
We saw lions and
They're fucking nuts.
also what were we gonna say?
I was gonna just say a fact that I read about big cats that was,
They're just creeping the fuck out, dude.
I learned it on the internet, but it was cool how I learned it. Okay, so there's this. I highly suggest anybody listening go check out The Real Tarzan. I think that's his IG handle on Instagram. The Real Tarzan. This dude is a goat. Like, he's a big boy, and he just does all kind. He's basically like, man, don't get mad, YouTube, but like, he's like the American Steve Irwin. like the and I forget his real name. Fuck. I just remember him by The Real Tarzan because he's always with like big cats. He swims in water with jaguars and like.
I think I know who you're talking about. There's a few people out there that do that,
but he's really dope.
If it's one of the people I've seen, I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, you guaranteed he's famous. Like, he's famous. Anyway, so in one of his videos, he posted a picture of two cats fighting, and there was big cats like in the wild, right? And I had asked the question, and I'd asked it in a really good way. I was like,
"Oh, you're talking about Tiger King?" No, I'm just kidding.
How did you know? This dude's definitely not the tiger.
My bad. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Anyways, I had asked a question in the thing because I had noticed that in this cat fight, one of the cats went to its side, like this, underneath the other cat. And I was like, in the dog world, when dogs do that, that's a sign of being submissive.
Oh, okay,
You're submissive. Like, it's a non-alpha dog. Like, if it goes to its back and shows you its belly, or it goes like on it, it's a non-alpha move. It's a submissive move. It's usually a good thing. You want a dog to do that. So I said that, and I go, why did the cat all of a sudden drop down and go down? Was it a submissive move or what? And like 100 people commented on my reply to me, and a debate had started, and they were
dude, I love those.
And I was like, it was all positive. Nobody was being a dickhead.
That's good though.
It was
that's
so
not
awesome.
That's not the ones I love then.
Yeah, come to find out, what everybody had basically educated me on, and if anybody watches this and remembers this or sees it, thank you. Like, it was really awesome. Apparently, cats do that to attack the throat. They'll go under you and reach up and grab another cat's throat.
Dude.
So
Cats are...
to back up what you're saying, cats are next level, bro. Like, they're the pretty damn, dude. If the world would go wild, I'd be so terrified if it was just like lions everywhere and tigers and jaguars and mountain lions. Hell, even a mean feline little one is a bitch.
So the one I'm thinking about, I don't know if this was one, but it was like a straight up like a sanctuary for just big ass cats in general. It was like leopards, tigers.
Oh, you're talking about
not tigers, not tigers. Bringing it back. But it was like big ass like leopards, mountain lions, lions and stuff, African lions, and one of the ones he was playing with the cat, was messing with him and everything, and it like kind of runs away. And then another cat comes up and it like falls into his lap, and so he like sits down and starts playing with it, and he's filming himself. But you see the other cat he was fucking with.
I've seen this.
Yeah.
And it's creeping up on him.
And then it's about to attack him, and then the other
dude comes.
the
up.
other cat. No, there's the other cat.
Yeah.
Pounds.
Okay.
It's kind of old now. It's probably like 5-6 years old now.
Yeah, the other cat checks it.
Yeah. But it's just crazy. Like, when cats are like that. And like my girlfriend has a few cats, and it's funny because they try to like. Shit, my bad.
That's all awkward. I know. I'm sorry.
No, it was my fault.
One day they'll just be a table right here on either side of it.
And they're just built in. No, I'm just kidding.
They'll just be put in, and the TV will be at the end of it. And you'll just sit there and just be like, okay, it won't be all awkward. But for now, dinner tables.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Dinner table,
Yeah,
blowjobs.
Yeah, no more dinner tables. No more just blowjobs and big tables.
But yeah, cats are cruel. It's just that instinct.
It's the instinct.
I think it's unless you
instinct.
declaw them, they're never going to lose that.
And I know somebody, and I won't say because for the sake of the people who are anti against that, I know somebody who has their 2 cats declawed. I won't say who it is. I support.
If you have a family and
because what their reason was they have nice furniture. They're one of those people that update their furniture every few years and everything matches. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, again, I'm not going to use the correct pronoun just for their sake, but this person is a single person, and it was to avoid destroying stuff. These cats never go outside.
As long as
they're never outside. They're not allowed to be outside. The one time they were outside, when the cats had the claws, one of the cats, he tried to hunt a mouse, and the mouse ran after him and scared him and ran him back inside. So you don't want any more of this.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, but yeah.
No, so I mean, declawing, like, that's the only time when it's like even then they still like it, dude. Who was it? Which comedian was it? Joe Rogan talking about how he'll watch his cat in the window and it'll be like. And it'll like,
something.
Yeah, and he's like,
he talks about his dog a lot.
What's
the golden retriever or
I used
whatever.
to follow it on Instagram. That's how ridiculous that was, and I stopped doing that. Now I don't follow people's dogs. It's so silly.
And some dogs get fucking millions of followers.
That's why I don't do it.
Imagine if fucking you had
Mello and Gonzo. I know they're the ones that build my rap career.
But yeah, man, fucking.
No, yeah, Cat. That's cool though. The zoo. I admire that you've been going up there, and I think that with you guys getting the vaccines, it'll open up your travel destinations.
Well, it's gonna work. It's gonna work for at least one of the spots for me because for the week of Mother's Day, me and my girlfriend are gonna go to Vegas with our parents.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm scared a little bit. Not gonna lie, but
why are you scared?
Just traveling.
You're gonna in that scene. You're gonna zoom in on my face. My eyes are all wide. I was like, you're like, I'm scared too.
Why are you scared? Chris Leah situation.
Dude. Hell yeah, dude. That's funny, dude. That's what. But why are you nervous? Like, what are you nervous about?
I mean, once I get the the vaccine shot have a little bit of ease,
okay,
but that's
yeah.
just the whole thing. It's the virus, and because we're flying out there.
You said Vegas?
Yeah.
That's so dope, though. Yeah, have fun. Just be
MGM
safe.
Grand.
Just be safe.
Yeah.
Maybe even mask up still if you,
Oh,
if you will. Yeah. Or if you want to.
I'll never. I'm
pretty sure that most time when I go into places now, I'm going to be wearing the mask. And if people are like, you can't come in with the mask on, I'm going to be like, this is such a reverse world. Just give it 6 months.
Well, dude, shout out to Cameron if you're watching this. Cameron.
Websites.
Me and this fool, we went skating the other day, and oh shit, fuck. We were just talking about the vaccine.
Yeah, you were talking about how it'll benefit when you go like Vegas and going into the large crowds and whatnot.
Oh, dude, I hella lost my train of thought. My bad.
You brought it because Cameron.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
You shouted him out.
I should give him a shout out. Hella fucking bugged my brain. I can't
damn it, Cameron! It's all your fault, bruh.
But okay. So we went to the skate park and everything, and dude, nobody there wears masks. Nobody gives a fuck there. Skaters don't give a fuck about wearing masks.
Actually, that makes sense if it's a skate park.
Yeah. I mean, even back in the day when we went to the skate park, all the dudes came up. A couple people that did show up didn't wear a mask.
Yeah.
But yeah, skaters don't give a fuck.
Hey, I just like I said, I do because this pandemic, regardless of how hygienic I may have been or may not have been in the past, this pandemic made me want to be extra hygienic, especially with covering my mouth. And now I always was good about that, about covering my mouth when I'm around people coughing and stuff. But the mask just really benefits that because now it's really just like you can do it and it not worry.
Dude.
But then also, the washing the hands thing. You brought this up last time. And me and you sat there for, I think, 10, 20 minutes talking about just this. So we won't go too far into it again. But we were talking about how it's amazing. Some people don't ever wash their hands when they come out of the bathroom. And
no, it's like, weird, bro. Especially after it dumps.
After they poo. And you said that. And I was like, me and you literally sat there and we were like, dude, that's funny because when I was in fast food, I would notice it all the time from customers and employees. And I'd be like, yo, like, don't come out of the bathroom just because you're going to wash your hands in the kitchen. That's gross.
That's
like,
where the Chipotle E. coli thing comes into thing.
Well, you know, my logic was, if you don't wash your hands after you come out of a bathroom because you're going into the kitchen sink, everything you touch along the way now has your dick hands on them or your pussy hands on them. That's gross, dog.
Dude.
So I agree.
That saying where it was like...
It's funny skaters don't give a fuck. I just wish that they did. Because the mask thing is actually, I think, kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
Now, back when it first started, I didn't give a fuck.
Well,
I'll be honest.
I was pretty anal too. There's a few people. I remember when the pandemic started, and I go to the skate park, and there's like I'd go at night, and there's a few people that were like, "Hey, what's up?" And I was like, "Hey, can you just stay away from me?" Because fucking
no. But it's when the pandemic first started and the mask thing happened, I was super confused because they were like, "Don't do it," and then they were like, "Do it," and they're like, "Don't worry about it." All because they didn't know how many masks that the country could support.
Different experts.
Yeah, so my thing was I was irritated that when I went places, people would force me to be one. But then I started seeing videos of people freaking out and like it becoming, and then the pandemic numbers rose, and I was like, dude, you have to wear a mask. Like in general, you know what? If we had started implementing masks like a year before this thing, our flu fucking pandemic would have went down.
Yeah.
In reality, the flu is has been just as a fucking year killer. I mean, as a person killer.
Well, apparently the flu numbers have been down this year, or the 2020.
So.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
everybody being cautious.
I don't know. It's funny to me, but I'm glad that you guys are going to do that. It's interesting that you'll go to like something like a skate park, even with skaters. I know they don't give a fuck, but they're not masked up. Because I go to the store, people just not wearing masks, and I'm like, dude. And people will come up and talk to me, and I'll be like, oh, like you said,
yeah.
Like, hey, sorry, there's like a pandemic. Can we not talk? Like, I don't want you spitting on me. Like,
I just think it's funny how because like some places like just like the liquor store I went to this earlier today to buy the beer, nobody behind because they have the plastic shelters wearing a mask. So and there's been plenty of people that have gone in there that you know what I mean. I mean, just a few weeks ago, I remember I was buying beer, and these two white-ass dudes, just, like, redneck motherfuckers, dude. And it reminded me of David, his family member.
Yeah.
And I remember I was like, I just remember being hella pissed because I put, buying beer, put the card in, and it was, like, ringing and stuff. And I was just kind of like, I wasn't paying attention. I was listening to them, and I was taking my card out, but right as I was taking my card out, he's like, "It's ready, bro. Listos." And I was like, "Did this?" And then I even the fucking the clerk would like looked at him like, "What the fuck?"
What did he
Like
say?
he said like listo, like it's ready, but he said a hello in like listos.
Oh, I didn't.
Like
it's a
like it's like
Spanish
está
word.
listo, you know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah,
Like
I
it's
didn't know. I
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
know.
But
Okay.
he said it, but like I was just like,
And so he said it just hella poor. And
yeah, but he's
Listos.
but it's like dude
What
had
is
like
it? I played lacrosse, bro.
it wasn't like that. Like it wasn't like malicious or anything, but just the way he said it was just like it was listos, and I was just like, what the fuck? Like really?
Stupid, bro. Hella ignorant. Just hella
But
ignorant.
but that's the kind of people that don't wear the mask and shit. You know what I mean? They're just like the people like, and even sadly, like we have a homie that is kind of like that. Yeah.
Anti-masker.
And he's like, yeah, if
Look, he
you
doesn't do anything. Look, the flame of the
but yeah,
Yeah,
it's just one of
there's
those things,
people.
man.
There's
Yeah. Yeah, just real quick though, me and Cameron, we went a little gnarly skater sesh and got that little thing.
Yeah,
Fucking
bro.
been skating a lot.
Don't lie, you've been throwing elbows at your woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Straight
Listen.
down.
Listen to me when I say make a sound.
No, dude, we skated at the skate park for almost 3 fucking hours, dude. And that was the most. And I didn't even notice. And I told you this off camera though. Like with my pedal foot, my leg and like my socket, like my leg socket, hella hurt,
Yep.
and like the tendons in front of my fucking like my foot,
Yeah,
like they hella
where
hurt
it
and shit.
bends.
Yeah. I was like, God damn.
Did it heal up?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
like,
good. Okay, because
like,
if it would have it kept going, you might have been like, you might have
Yeah.
actually really fucked something up.
It's just fun though. Like, see, this is why we need Cameron to come with us, because this fool literally like we're sitting there talking about drinking. He's like, yeah, like I'm one of those people that just drink beer and fucking just put the 18 pack, like the 17 pack, the rest of the 17 pack away in the fridge, and we were hella laughing about that. And then literally like right after that, he was like, but no, seriously, when I get older, I want to be that guy that drinks a beer and just that's all he's done. And I was like, what the? I was
Did
like,
you just say it?
like we've said like you were the
that's
one.
funny. Me and you said that same.
Well,
I said that. Same
you were
thing.
actually the
Yeah.
one who said it
I said
first,
it
but I was
last
like,
time,
dude, that's
yeah.
a good goal to fucking
Yeah.
have. And I was like,
That's my
that's
same thing,
fucking
too.
hilarious,
Yeah.
though, dude.
Yeah, because we're all so similar. Yeah.
So I was like, so that's why I want to get Cameron onto our.
I think
like,
that'd be hell. I see what you're saying. Yeah, that'd be amazing. Yeah.
because I was like, damn, this fool.
We should just figure out the remote podcast thing, and then he'd be fucking A.
Well,
A-okay
he already
with it.
uses us with Cameron. Yeah, definitely gonna be in the
He'd be
future.
dope. Sorry about that, by the way. I
No,
apologize.
it's all good.
Um,
Definitely gonna be on in the future with everything.
I'd love to see him on. He's so personable. He has such a good opinion, like a strong opinion on things. It's always nice to hear his side of things and how he looks at things, and because he's so intelligent.
Yeah, he's very like very unique. You know what I mean? He's a very unique person.
He had such a different level to conversations.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's actually, it's refreshing the same way that Dan can be refreshing when on occasion.
Yeah,
when
yeah,
you talk
yeah.
to Danny, he like brings some like education to it, and it's like he's speaking from his intelligent, sober place. It's
No, I get
really,
that
it's
shit,
the
dude.
same, it's nice. Like it's a refreshing thing, which not all of our friends have that attribute.
Yeah.
That ability to speak. Some people, I won't shit on anybody, so I won't say names, but some people will just talk, and you'll go to talk, and they'll talk over you, and you know what I'm talking about.
Well, this is what I wanted to base this whole podcast off of, pretty much. Mortal Kombat has finally dropped. I've only watched it once. I watched it last night.
Yep, me too.
You watched it.
One time, yeah. I watched it the second time tonight.
So, real quick before we do a deep dive into it, I just want to explain the story. No spoilers. Basic story, you know what I mean? There's no real... It's just exposition, walking around. Main character has, some kind of... the story itself is not too...
Complex.
Exactly. It's easy to follow. For anybody who wants to watch a Mortal Kombat movie and have it be pretty, straightforward, like you were saying, because I asked you earlier if it was pretty straightforward, and you're like, yeah, it's pretty
straightforward. That movie was made for fans. Like, it was made for fans. Like, 100%, all the way down to the which was a drawback, the characters being a little like generic.
Yes, very generic. And then some characters that just barely show up just to be there.
Yes, and I've watched a couple reviews, and a couple people said that same thing. They were like, some characters, not all of them, a couple of them were just a little generic, and it may be because they created a whole new character, which I won't say the name yet because we haven't said any spoilers, but to ride the story forward. Now, I don't mind it, but it is generic, but that's not a huge negative. In reality, it's not a huge negative.
And then also,
but it's just an easy story.
Yeah, it is an easy. It is an easy story, and there's. I mean, I don't want to spoil too much because the story is kind of simple. If I say too much, it'll kind of, you know what I mean. But it's just one of those stories where it does. If you do like Mortal Kombat, it is good. It's easy to follow.
It does justice to the games.
Exactly.
The original games too.
Even if you don't like Mortal Kombat. It has some cheekiness to it, you know what I mean? Got some Kano has some of the comic relief.
You said that, the cheeky thing. Yeah,
we'll talk. We'll go more into some of these characters, but they have fuck. Can you name some of the characters? My bad, I'm blanking.
Cabal's in there.
Cabal.
Melina's in there. Shang Tsung's in there. What's
the blonde chick's name?
Sonya Blade.
There you go.
Jax.
There you go, Jax.
Who was the other person? Kung Lao, Liu Kang.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of the other people on the Outer World list, the Outer World fight roster, but I can only remember Melina, Shang Tsung, and I don't remember the guy with the hammer's name, Goro. And I don't remember the guy
with the hammers from the newer ones.
It is, and so is the flying girl.
He's supposed to be like some kind of like the one that the Mayans worshipped or something.
The flying girl's from a more recent one of the games too, but she's still dope. And that scene was it was dope. I'm not gonna ruin it.
I'm saying
that character was actually a really interesting character.
We'll ruin everything in a second. I just want to just do it non-spoilers. But yeah. It like I said, like we were saying, it follows the storyline pretty well for the Mortal Kombat and everything, and it does leave off with a cliffhanger, so it does expect you to be in. There will possibly be another one.
There'll be a sequel.
There should be.
With what you said, yeah.
And yeah, it's kind of, you could definitely, the story's pretty generic. You know, you could pretty much tell how it's gonna work.
Yeah.
You know.
You know what to expect by like the beginning of the movie. You're kind of like, oh, I mean, like by the middle of the movie, you're kind of like, oh, I see where this is going. You know?
Just pre spoilers. What do you think of the fight scenes altogether?
Oh, they were really well choreographed, except the pre spoilers. They were all really well choreographed in general. Just to generalize it, they really meshed really well. There were a couple that when we talk about spoilers, I'll go more in depth on. That I was kind of like, but it was merely a filmmaking moment that I was like, damn it about. It wasn't exactly the actual movie itself. And then also, I love the gore. If you're coming for Mortal Kombat for the gore, you're getting it.
That's a good thing to bring up too. That the
you're
gore.
You're getting the gore. Like if you don't even know anything about Mortal Kombat, you're there for the gore. They give you the gore. Like, wow.
Another thing too is I did like the fighting scenes too. We'll talk about it more, but some of the CGI I felt was a little cheeky and like kind of poorly done.
And now this is maybe not considered a spoiler, but an example, Gordo.
Goro. I mean,
I said Gordo, like a
fat Gordo.
Gordo. I said Gordo, bro, because I used to eat it in San Francisco when I lived there. Like every week, we'd eat at a place called Gordo's. Like, we just get these giant burritos and just.
That's what Americans love.
Yep, bro.
Stuff their face with everything.
That's shaped like a dick.
Welcome to America.
America.
Mexican people knew it's.
Come to America for dick-shaped foods.
For uncircumcised dick-shaped foods.
100, bro. So Goro was my example of of the CGI example that what you just brought up.
Same here. That's
the critique that you brought up. That was one of the examples. With that said, one negative about the fighting is some of the characters the actors,
Yeah.
it is clear that, how can I say this? Now, I won't say who or the gender, so we'll save that for the spoiler thing. But it's clear that certain characters, when they're fighting certain characters, have to hold back the actors.
Yeah.
There are scenes when, like, even Cole Young,
Yeah.
throws a punch, and it's like there are scenes when it's so believable, and then there's certain people he fights, and it's like you had to hold back. Like, you can tell that he holds his punches.
I totally know what you mean.
So that was my only critique. Otherwise, come for the gore. The story is dope.
It's pretty simple, and it's for a video game movie
and
too.
The characters that you're hoping are going to drive the story, maybe don't be so emotionally invested in those, and expect that other characters are going to blow you away, or maybe make you laugh more, or get you more addicted to the movie. An example, Kano was one that surprised me.
Yeah,
So, just to give a non-spoiler take on the fights and the way the characters go.
The person who surprised me was what's the dude with the
Kung
Lao. He surprised me.
Fire.
The actor
that actor was phenomenal.
He was dope.
Without ruining anything, we'll just say, like, I'll put it very, like, empty. Like, I'll put it empty. Remember the scene at the dinner table where they're arguing?
Yeah, it's okay.
I love that acting.
So,
and that was one scene where even Liu Kang did well with the acting.
Yeah.
That actor, because he was one of the characters that we'll critique later.
So, real quick, what do you give the movie, and what would you...
I wish I would have watched it a second time before I get, like...
I'm giving it an 8.
An 8?
Yeah. 7.5.
Okay, I'm gonna go...
No, actually, I'll go with the 8, just because how faithful it was.
Okay, I'm gonna go with the 8, too, and the 8, excuse me. I'm gonna go with the 8 also. And my reasoning for it is, by the end of the movie, everybody that I've read reviews on, watched reviews on, and now speaking with that movie about, everybody has said the same thing. They want a sequel.
Yep.
And I think that even if you have, like, your negatives about the movie, if you finish a movie and go, I want a sequel, that probably means the movie delivered in whatever it was trying to do.
Yeah.
You know, so for me, that's a strong 8. It would be an 8.5 if it wasn't for little sprinkles of the things we're going to bring up.
So,
Actually, it could be a 9 if they had changed up a little bit of the character development.
So pretty much, I guess this is pretty much the end of the pre-spoilers.
Yeah, non-spoilers.
So
here, we're going to get naked.
One major problem, spoilers.
It's going to be on the screen in big red letters.
One major problem I had was with the main character.
Cole Young.
Yeah, he had the
most generic of
but
all of them.
He played it good.
No, the actor did good. It's
I think
the character.
I think the family was kind of a weird...
and by the end of it, I was tired of seeing them.
Yeah.
That was my problem.
And then I mean, we'll talk about it more, or if you want to talk about it now, whatever. But I just wanted, like, when he's beating the glass, when Scorpion,
the ice.
He's like, he's beating the ice. I mean, my bad. And fucking Scorpion and Sub-Zero are literally right there, and he's like, okay, you guys gonna fight? He starts punching the glass. I'm like, dude, are you sure you want to do that when this motherfucker could just be like spirit, like freeze to death or something?
Dude, man, you can freeze your blood, dog. Like, that was a hokey pokey little. Now the fight in that scene between Scorpion. Now we're fast forwarding.
The choreograph in that whole movie, like it was really good.
It was.
I loved.
That scene now, because we're skipping forward a little bit, so I'll go back a little bit, giving the same example you just did with that scene. The hokey pokiness of it. It was like, okay, turn around and do the hokey pokey.
Yeah.
That's kind of how very cliche, right? Is what I mean by that. Very cookie cutter almost.
Very.
Him doing that. But what that same example is when he first learns of his, whatever they called the power of the
inner
dragon,
power or whatever.
Yeah, and he gets the suit. And it's like the whole thing to me felt super Green Lantern. Like
that's true.
Scene,
I didn't think.
Like, I was like, so his power is a bracelet that his daughter made him? Like I didn't understand. So
yeah, because it did. That's true. He had the bracelet, and then he's just like
into the armor. And so my logic was
maybe she has the power in her too.
No, I think what they're displaying is that anybody that inherits that mark or gets the mark,
like Sonya Blade did.
Like Sonya,
we'll go more in depth.
It adds a level of chi energy that they can unlock.
Yeah.
Right. And everybody manifests it in a different way.
Like Kano did.
Jax gets his arms bona fide.
That's true, yeah.
So I like
like he
that.
evolved or something.
Yeah, they evolved. They use it to evolve on themselves. Sonya had the wrist rockets. Yeah, and it's cool because it's to the game. I mean, minus how they get their powers, because the game really never actually was really good at explaining that. All the games Linked did a good job.
Yeah.
Individually. So another example, is when he gets his powers, and it's like a scene. When I watched that, I was like, that's cool, but like, did you have to like make him look like he's wrapped in foreskin? Like, like his power was like he used his dick and he just folded it around. No, I'm just kidding. Because again, I love the movie in reality, and I actually like that actor in the movie. But you hit the nail on the head. Number one generic character for my list too, for the generic characters. Doesn't mean they did a bad job.
No.
It just means that the writers did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They didn't
They didn't do the actor justice.
You know,
so Cole Young would be my first generic character pick, just so we can keep track.
Real quick too is I thought they were gonna because Scorpion was his own character, but I thought he was gonna either take control of Scorpion.
Cole.
Yeah. I thought he was gonna either.
So did I.
Or he was gonna be able to, like, he gets possessed.
Yeah.
So it's like
that's
he doesn't
exactly what I thought.
Okay,
and that
cool.
was exactly.
I'm glad.
So
I'm glad.
funny. Yeah,
I'm glad.
So look,
because halfway through I was like, oh, he's gonna be Scorpion.
So we did say the story's a little generic, right? But let's clarify something. They tricked us both, and we both said it. We never said it was predictable.
I'm not saying it was bad,
sorry,
though.
we did say that.
Just
what I mean is, I'm not saying that it was completely predictable. Is what I meant to say. So that part of the story got me too, because I was like, "How is he?" And then I realized I was like, "Duh, it's Mortal Kombat. Nobody really dies in this fucking."
I'm also
franchise.
glad. I'm also glad that he Scorpion was his own character. Just to clarify it, like
yeah. So was I, because now again, this is probably going to be the biggest ruiner for you guys if you haven't seen the movie. So maybe don't listen to this part if you're even ignoring the spoiler. I know, even if you're ignoring the spoiler warning, this is going to be the part that'll ruin it. But for one, Scorpion's like not in the movie at all. Just so you know, because I thought it was going to be a Scorpion versus Sub-Zero main character lead, and they totally tricked us. The other thing is, how he gets him in the world, he manifests him into the world via the shank.
Because he stabbed Sub-Zero with it or something like that.
No, he got stabbed with it. It was his blood it was Scorpion's blood on this dagger.
Oh,
so Raiden kept it.
I got it
all
wrong.
Those years.
I thought that's right, because you're right, because he tried to stab him with it, and he was like.
And so remember, they didn't do a good job about the dialogue of this, because if you weren't like really listening, it would be confusing.
He had the dreams too. He was having the dreams, so it was
so what happened was Raiden explained it. He was like, I took the dagger on his death, but when he died, he got pulled into the underworld. Unfortunately, the underworld was not prepared for Scorpion. Yeah. And so Scorpion.
No.
He said, what he exactly says is,
Scorpion.
He's been wandering the underworld trying to escape and seek revenge.
Yeah, pretty much. That's exactly.
And so the way I looked at it was that dagger was the thing that allowed Cole to get him, and it was the thing that showed Scorpion the doorway out of Outer World.
Yeah.
That's how I looked at it. Like, once Cole was in that moment and he used it, like he touched it with it, that was when Scorpion is like, that's how I get out.
It was just kind of fate of like him getting stabbed with it and the bloodline and just activating it.
Because they said it was a prophecy that they wouldn't win the last tournament.
And that's like kind of the storyline, right? With like all the Mortal Kombats, where it was like, or at least with the original. Right, with the original one, something like that, where it was
it's like the last tournament, and they're about to win, and if they win, then Earth gets taken over.
Yeah. And then it's like at the end, like spoilers, like at the end, they're like, "I'll come with armies," and that's usually what happens in the game, right? That's why the Shaolin monks or whatever come in or something.
It happens in a fucking fat part of the game, actually, where they actually do invade. What is it? Mortal Kombat X. They did the XL edition. Number 10.
Something like that,
or number 9. They did that game, and in that game, the two worlds, they have Outworld and I forget what they call Earth, the Earth realm or whatever. I forget what they call it. But in number 9, the worlds actually have open portals, and all their armies have started to come through. So you start out as Johnny Cage, and you go through this dope ass breakdown, and then you have to play as Jax, and then you play as Scorpion, and blah, blah,
Nice.
it's dope. It's a dope little story breakdown that I like a lot. I don't know why I'm doing this and not just this.
So
they did the army thing at the end definitely ties into more of the games, and if how they ended it is going to be correct, then either we're going to get the actual Mortal Kombat, like another round of Mortal Kombat, and it'll be actually the tournament.
They have a lot of characters now to fucking
they have hundreds
flesh out.
Hundreds, like not hundreds, but 100, I think. They have a lot of room to go, and we're either going to get the tournament next, or there's going to be an invasion.
So okay, let me let's talk more about what was your favorite scenes and what was your least favorite scenes.
So for me, my all-time favorite scene, to be so honest with you, dude, was not my all-time, but one of my top 3 in that movie was the first 7 minutes of Scorpion fucking up everybody. It was so goddamn beast. I absolutely love that. My second set of scenes.
Let me tell you mine real quick.
Oh, yeah.
My favorite was when Liu Kang brought up the dragon.
Yeah.
And he was like, and fucking Cable or whatever.
Yeah, dude, Cabal. Yeah, they fucked up Cabal. That was so dope. And he's like, Cabal loses.
Yeah.
That was by the way, that's something we need to bring up. The way they tied in the Mortal Kombat lore lingo was so good. All the lingo.
Kano wins.
Test your might.
Yeah.
Kano wins or fatality.
Yeah,
like
the dude with the spinning hat.
He goes, flawless victory.
So that's what you were talking about earlier. Let's talk about that real quick. When he jumps on her, he stops and he uses his fucking
like she's circling him. I can't remember the character with the wings, but she's circling Kung Lao, and he all of a sudden realizes because he doesn't have his hat on. He's like, well, I'll just focus my power. And she comes down.
He's like
centering himself or some shit.
Yeah, because she was like screaming and going around like.
He was listening. And as soon as she swooped down, he flips and jumps on her back, and he throws his hat, or he threw his hat.
No, his hat was already on the ground.
Yeah, and he starts making it spin. Like just like the video game, and he brings her ass through like a fucking power tool and just cuts her like a plywood, bro.
Like a fucking exactly.
Dude, like you're
a
at Home Depot and they're like, "How big do you want this?"
Just cutting her like a pig.
Yeah, dude, roast. He did. He fucked her up, and then that was what I was talking about. The way they incorporated the Mortal Kombat lingo into the movie,
because he said fatality.
He literally grabs his hat, wipes the blood off, and goes, "Flawless victory."
There you go.
It's like I love it. Gave me chills, and I love that they didn't abuse the soundtrack. They waited to show the new version of the song at the credits.
Very end.
I loved it. I was
it was during the fight, right?
It was at the end of the credits.
When he was like when they were fighting, and it was like more. Maybe you're right.
I thought it was at the credits, but you may be correct. We'll find out tonight.
Yeah. No, but I mean, they brought like you said. I was a couple of episodes ago. I was like, I really hope they bring it back, and you're like, no, it's for sure gonna be in there, and I'm really happy. And
because I said somebody had commented on the internet that they heard it. And
you said somebody that was like on the work
in the music, in the music department had commented. I read a comment about it, and they said it was lit.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, dude. I was literally like standing up the whole time and being like, I was getting hella into it, dude. I fucking loved it. I'm not gonna lie, I fucking loved it. I enjoyed the fuck out of this movie.
Yeah.
As
again, this would probably
bland
be,
as it can be and stuff, and like you know what I mean, as like cheesy. It
not
was really cheesy.
It was the fucking you're right.
But I mean, me and you, everybody. I mean, fuck. One of the first times we got drunk and high at your house, you played the Mortal Kombat. And you put on the strobe light.
I forgot about that. That was one of my favorite soundtracks to listen to, dude.
So. It's not like we're just like, oh yeah, we played Mortal Kombat when we were younger. It's like we did play Mortal Kombat, but we also had the movies, we had the music.
Yeah, man, we grew up as like completely like just wanting more from that franchise, and unfortunately, as like the movies came out, they got worse and like
because they made the second one and that one was just horrible.
Okay,
even compared to the first one.
Okay, so if you want to compare this movie to the first one or the second one of the series, Mortal Kombat 1 or Mortal Kombat Annihilation. They're way better. I mean, this Mortal Kombat is way better.
I gotta put the link to the video as like episode 60 because we talk about we talk about what we were just saying, like exactly. But yeah, dude, fucking, we grew up watching this like this movie, and it's plays a deep heart. But the Mortal Kombat 2 was pretty bad, and then
yeah, it's Annihilation. It was horrible. The CGI in that movie is even bad for the 90s.
and then the Street Fighter movie came out, and it was pretty bad. And
I think Street Fighter came out before Annihilation and Mortal Kombat.
probably,
I think
but
Street Fighter came out in like 88.
Street Fighter was a little more realistic, but it's like, you know, it's
Yeah.
like the Super Mario Brothers movie at the time. It was like they were
shit,
trying
dude.
to just make it so realistic.
I can't even sit through that movie anymore in this day and age. I can never rewatch some Super Mario Brothers movie.
Oh fuck no, dude!
No, but
I
it
couldn't even
was,
do it when I was a kid, so I can't imagine
No.
as an adult.
Yeah, dude, fuck no. So Mortal Kombat, it was great. It was great.
What about Kano? Let's talk about Kano.
Let's talk about Kano for a little bit. You know what you could do, by the way, is you could totally post this up in clips of us talking about each character.
Yeah.
It might double your video content and maybe make
Quadruple.
people like you more. I mean,
Yeah.
more like the page more.
People
you know?
don't like me. I'm just kidding. Make people like you more.
Because nobody likes you. I meant to say because it'll make people like the videos more. So Kano. Dude, Kano, wow, that character was really dope, actually. He was not my second pick, but he would be like third or fourth character that was a little generic. Not the worst one, though.
Yeah.
It would easily be for me the generic characters that hit my top two are Cole and Liu Kang. They just were cut and paste. Like it was really not that they're bad actors, just the writers really wrote them in a very specific way. So Kano, dude, I really liked his comedy in it. He had hella funny scenes that actually made me laugh. That I was like, like, dude. What was his? God damn, we'll watch it tonight, and I know I'll laugh about it. But he had a reference that he dropped.
Drops a lot of references, dude.
That are relevant to today, and they were like about bands. He was like, "All right, Chloe," or some shit like that.
Yeah.
He called one of them. He's like, "All right, In Sync" or something. Yeah.
No, I don't remember
what it was, but I like that stuff. And his fight scenes were dope. I loved seeing him get his power. And that scene was a really good acting from all the people at the table.
Yeah.
Because everybody's laughing at
Oh,
him.
dude, when he got his power was so he's like, "What the fuck? You call me a failure, huh, mate?
I'm fucking Kano.
You don't know what the fuck I've been through, mate. I'll fucking stab you in the fucking face, mate."
I'm a part of the Black Dragons. That's what he says, yeah. I think he says that.
I've really felt for like his commentary for the first
like most of his dialogue,
like the first 15 minutes before they start training, like first half hour before you know what I mean, because they do kind of panned out. I feel like they kind of panned out that like the
whole
it's like, okay, you jump into Sonya Blade, Jax, the new dude, and fucking Kano, and then they're like, okay, we have all these characters, and then now they're traveling and then okay, now they're training. And then now everybody starts fighting, and the end seems was worth it. But I just feel like for the first like act, like the first maybe like the second half of the act, Kano was the
driving force.
Well, not the drive. I feel like he was the game audience.
Oh yeah,
like he was he was the embodiment of Mortal Kombat players and pros in general, because he's like,
actually have a very good point there. I didn't think about that. You kind of are right. He totally would be a gamer's dialogue, like,
because like I don't remember specifically, but a lot of his like dialogue is like, "Oh, don't you know who the fuck I am?" Like, "Oh, fuck, I'm fucking Kano," and I'm just like, I just feel like that trash talk and like exactly like.
I love when okay, so one other thing. There's a funny thing I just remembered about Kano. So this happens twice to him, and it's fucking amazing each time. It made me laugh so hard. The first time is when he disrespects Raiden, and Raiden like blasts him into the ceiling, and he like bounces off the ceiling. Like, they're talking, and he gets up. He goes, "What I missed?" And like it happens again at when they're eating or something, and Kung Lao fucking blasts him into the ceiling, and he's like, "All right, my bad." And like
I like when he, like you were saying, he first uses his eyeball.
Yeah.
And then he was like, I got a fucking laser beam. That's better than fire, you little pussy, or something like that.
That's better than fireballs, you little pussy. Yeah. I can't do an accent, but yeah, that's what he said.
I can't do an accent either.
Yeah, He does. He says that. He's like, hey, that's better than Fireballs, you little bitch.
It was hilarious. Yeah, he's a great character. It just, I guess you could definitely tell. I really wish he would have been persuaded a little differently instead of like, what? That's Kano? I fucking hate that dude.
Yeah.
And then he's like, hey, you should join our team. And he's
Yeah.
like, why not?
Yeah, I think that. You know which character? Okay, so I mean, we gave a good amount because Kano was a dope character.
Any
in
other
the movie.
highlights you want to give to Kano? I mean, he had the fight scene with Sonya. You guys.
Okay, so now we're doing spoilers. So I'll say what I was saying earlier. This is one of the reasons the movie doesn't get that extra 0.5 from me for the credit for the score, and it's not a big deal, but it's noticeable in a lot of movies once you start to actually see it.
I'm good for now.
One of the things that really drives me crazy about movies, Hollywood movies, specifically Hollywood, but it happens in foreign films sometimes too with martial art films, is you'll oftentimes see characters. It happened in Marvel all the time, where it's like an example, Captain America versus 10 people, and Captain America's hitting somebody, and in the background, you'll literally see somebody staring at the back of his head and go, okay, go! And it's so annoying that they do that because now in the one-on-one fights, the female versus male fights, that was so clearly visible that the males were holding back. I don't mean that in any type of way. It's so
she threw
clear.
something at his face, and he's like, I can't fucking shoot my laser anymore.
Yeah,
and I don't even remember what the fuck she threw. It was
hydrogen. It was sulfuric acid, the stuff you burn bodies in, I think, because they showed the label for a second. Hydrofuric acid.
Which is hilarious how they even had to do that.
Yeah, I just, my thing was, there were, the greatest example is between Cole Young and Sonya. When they first meet, it's like, he so clearly had to, he had to play limp at some parts, so she could actually, and he had to, use his momentum to help her. Those scenes... and then hit Cole Young versus Melina. I think it was Melina, the girl with the mouth. That scene was without the CGI and without the special effects of speeding up some of their movements, I would say probably looked really bad.
It did.
It didn't look bad in the movie. It just looked bad in the holding things back. It was clear at some parts. Kano had a multiple of those moments because Kano's character, whoever that actor is, Josh... whatever. His name's Josh something.
Let me
look it up, please. It's Josh something, because I was just watching a podcast about where they were talking about him. Whoever he is, he looked buff as fuck. So he wasn't I don't think that compared to Sonya or that
Josh Lawson.
Yeah, compared to the actress. That's him. Compared to the actress that plays Sonya or the actress that played Melina, he looked like he had a lot more body mass than those two actresses, and even Cole Young. Sorry, when Cole Young was next to Melina, he looked like a bigger boy. Whoever actor that Cole Young is, right? So that's my reason for not giving it a higher score, because
Louis Tan,
yeah, because he has a playlist on HBO Max right now.
Oh.
He would fight, and there were very specific scenes where you see a moment where it's a clear shot to blow this fucking person away, and he's like, now, and he goes, and it's it's the choreography.
Yeah,
they could have easily masked that in a moment of him losing his stepping.
So I want to talk about
Kano. That's my one thing I wanted to bring up that applies to also Cole that we already talked about, but I forgot to bring that up when we first brought up the spoilers. That's something I don't like about some of the movie, is that there are scenes when people who are in very physical top shape, or
just fighting somebody, and it's just
it's a clear moment of their pausing. They're pausing, and it's I noticed it a lot in Marvel's Avengers too. So it's not Mortal Kombat did great. It's every movie almost.
Honestly, with Sonya Blade, one of my favorite scenes with her when she was fighting. So, what's the blonde chick? Was it Sonya Blade?
Sonya Blade, yeah, Jax's best friend.
She was fighting Melina.
Yeah, Melina.
She was fighting Melina.
Oh, and, before everybody.
And they were sitting on that. You know what I mean? That scene. There was straight. It was that was straight up hand to hand combat. Yeah. I know it was different angles, so it was totally choreographed.
But it looked good.
It looked good.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying
that was legit. There's no special effects in that, and I thought that was one of the best things in that scene.
I want to clarify. Not every scene in the movie has a moment where they're holding back.
Well, I was just saying
there are some moments.
In my opinion,
and there's like 3.
In my opinion, that was one of the better fights because it was legit.
The girls killed it.
There was
scene.
well, there was no CGI. It was all them. Maybe there was a couple stunt doubles and stuff in that scene. I don't know, but from what I can tell, it looked pretty legit. It looked pretty good, and
that was like the Sub-Zero versus.
That was like honestly, that's probably like top 3, like being number 3.
Best
like
scenes.
You're saying, Sub-Zero and all this stuff. Those fights are.
Oh, that's a good question. So if there's a top 3 scenes in the movie, what are the top 3 for you? Because we talked about Kano for a minute.
So, Sub-Zero and
Jax.
No. Sub-Zero versus Scorpion and the dude.
That is number 1 on both of us. Okay. So 2 and 3. What are 2 and 3? By the way, we're talking about the last fight. And probably the first fight, really. Any Scorpion versus Sub-Zero scene in that movie is actually pretty cool.
Even though it was very minuscule, I like the dude with the hat, the fucking...
Yeah, Kung
Lao. I like when
his name is Kung Lao. Yeah.
I liked his whole character in general. So I'm just putting him as number 2 for the whole...
That's his name, right? Kung Lao. Can you look that up? Because you know what I feel like I'm mixing it up with? Iron Fist, the name of his home. Where Iron Fist comes from.
No, you're right.
It's Kung Lao. Okay, I thought so. Okay, I wasn't sure though. Because it's
Max Hung is his name.
He did really good. He's a really good actor.
He's hung.
He's hung. He probably does not like that joke at all. No, dude. So Scorpion. Which Scorpion scene for you is your number 1 versus Sub-Zero versus Scorpion scene? Which is your number 1? Which scene? Because there's only really 2.
Well, what I kind of hated. Okay, so. When he first shows up and he starts fucking him up
at the end,
not when he first shows up. Remember,
he
shows up and he's like, and this is what I thought was cool too because he started getting his ass kicked, but he was beating up fucking Scorpion or Sub-Zero. Scorpion was beating up Sub-Zero.
Wait, are you talking about the last scene or the first scene?
The first scene when Scorpion first shows up.
It's
not
in the
past when Scorpion first shows up in the fight. And he starts fighting Sub-Zero in the Sub-Zero's frozen building.
Okay, you're talking about the end of the movie.
It goes on for a while. But I like it when Scorpion first shows up in that because he starts fucking up Sub-Zero.
Yeah.
But then he does the thing. He does
over here.
He does it again though. But then Sub-Zero.
Yeah.
He dodges it and then he purposely baits what happens.
Dude, you caught that too?
Yeah, and then he's he grabs it.
I loved that interaction because the moment that he moved his head and literally that scene is so brilliant. In the first 7 minutes of the movie, Scorpion gets Sub-Zero in the face and scars his face with this trick. He misses on purpose.
The get over here pretty much.
Yeah, he does the get over here, but he misses on purpose. He hits a tree and the guy laughs. He's like, "How you missed?" And Scorpion brings it back and it cuts his face. Well,
good chunk of his face.
Yeah, it's a big fucking chunk of his face. And so fast forward to this part of the movie you're talking about. That is such a dope scene. I wanted to explain it to people listening if they haven't seen it and they just want that spoiler review. Right?
It's a good scene, dude.
When he does that, it's so dope because before he does it, he literally, if you remember, he goes.
He baits it.
No, yeah, he literally looks to the left and baits it, like you're saying, and
he
then
baits it and he's like.
Yeah, he does it, and then as soon as he does it again, he moves his head again and catches it. And Scorpion, it's all such good acting.
And that's when he starts getting his ass beat.
Yeah,
Scorpion.
For a second, and then you see a lot of the moves from the game being implemented into that scene. So Scorpion freezes. Scorpion
makes a little fucking sword.
Yeah, he makes the sword, the ice sword, and then he freezes Scorpion's feet so he can hit him when he wants. But then when Scorpion gets out of it, he goes to hit Sub-Zero, and Sub-Zero flips out and creates a frozen clone of himself. And
that was sick,
dude. That was really dope because they didn't focus too much on it.
And that's when it
happened quick.
And that's when I started hating the fight because the other dude.
Cole Young is just sitting there hitting.
He hitting his wife and daughter's bodies just so he could be like, I'm trying to save him, but at the same time, you're fighting the dude that put him in there. And if you fuck up, you have this deity next to you.
You know what my first thought was this whole fucking time, to be real with you, was the moment that I seen him punching the ice. I don't understand why Cole Young and Scorpion didn't just switch places and Scorpion just melt them out of there real quick.
Oh, I know, right?
His whole point is he has Hellfire.
So
So, but now, okay, I'm just being stupid, but that's not a big pickiness.
No. I was gonna say you're talking about the Hellfire. I want to talk about more about that. I was really hoping when Scorpion took his little mask off that it would just be Skeleton.
Me too.
Like a little
I
skeleton.
thought for sure when he took his mask off, it'd be decayed.
But they did kind of. I mean, he did kind of have rotten teeth and stuff.
Yeah, he had that.
But he did the little mouth fireball and fucking
it burned his.
Which was pretty sick.
It was
I appreciated that.
And the side angle of that scene was cool as fuck. Yeah. When it's like this. This is his head, and the flames are coming out, but you don't see his face. It just looks like napalm coming out of his fucking mouth. Yeah, it's like.
You ever played Smash Brothers where Bowser just?
Yep.
This is pretty much what it is.
They literally took not all of them, but some of the fatalities from the game and put them in that Hellfire or whatever it's called scene is from the game when he just burns you to a crisp.
Right.
Crazy, bro. Obviously, clearly, though, they're playing the new games because the old games, it was much harder to hit a fatality than it was in the movie. Because the movies, they were hitting fatalities left and right, bro.
Dude.
I mean...
Is there anything else you want to bring up about Scorpion, though?
Nah. I mean, he was dope. I liked him a lot. I cannot wait for a sequel because I'll put money on he's going to be a big character in it because now he's free.
Well, let's talk about Sub-Zero then, since he was... One question, though, because you know more about the Mortal Kombat universe than I do. I thought it was switched. I thought Sub-Zero was the good guy and Scorpion was the bad guy.
No, because in the original, because in the number 2 movie, when they first meet in number 2, Mortal Kombat Annihilation, the movie, the shitty one, you might think that the reason
there's Sub-Zero's twin brother, which is the stupidest thing.
Yeah, and it's
like
so
we said earlier, it's the worst.
Guy.
Yeah,
and they're like, but we met your brother. He goes, it was my brother. I'm different.
I'm good, Sub-Zero.
I'm good, look, I'm this guy.
The original did it.
Yeah.
You keep on smacking that.
I'm not used to this setup. But the Sub-Zero in this movie was really dope. Now, I can't remember if it's canon that Sub-Zero has a brother or not. I don't remember any of the games where Sub-Zero there was a Sub-Zero brother.
Yeah. Well, I just always...
there was 2 versions of Sub-Zero, but I didn't think that they... But I
so Sub-Zero was never the good guy. I mean, Scorpion was never a good guy either.
Neither. And the only time but the one thing that Scorpion is very accurate is Scorpion comes back. He like brings himself back. Like hell could not contain him. Like that's the point. Like once he died, his revenge was so high that you should watch the cartoon Scorpion's Revenge for Mortal Kombat. It is an amazing cartoon. It's amazing.
I'm trying to see
what dreams happen.
Oh yeah. So what I got.
Damn, dude, we just don't have any luck with noise.
So Sub-Zero, I guess, always fucks up Scorpion, and from what I could tell, Sub-Zero always gets the best of Scorpion. But Scorpion is immortal, so he always comes back.
Well, the thing is, now
something like that.
Good point though, because in this movie, it would seem that Sub-Zero has now been granted immortality.
Yeah.
Because Cole is not the son of Scorpion. Cole Young is not the son of Scorpion.
He has the same bloodline, though.
He is from his mother's mother.
Yeah, it's the same bloodline. Because at the end he was like, "Oh, my bloodline can be strong," or something. Yeah, because he's like, "Keep the bloodline strong," or something like that.
Keep my bloodline safe, or some shit, or keep it strong. And then he dips. He goes, "Thank you for freeing me," and it was pretty good. A pretty good lead up to them making another movie. But back to what we were saying, the Sub-Zero thing. Now I won't speak too much on it. Like again, I'm familiar to the extent of the games. I don't know much of the written material on Mortal Kombat. After this movie, I may very well go and do a deep read.
I'm sure a lot of people are gonna. I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of channels that just start doing Mortal Kombat lore and just blow up.
For sure. Oh, let's make that a prediction video for sure. Good call. That's one of your predictions. We have done a lot of those on this channel and on my channel where they've come true. So I was wrong about Cole being Johnny Cage, which I thought that was going to be who Cole Young was. I thought their solution was much cooler. To be honest, I'm glad they didn't do that. But Sub-Zero's character was fucking dope in this. The scene between him and Jax was fucking insane.
The shotgun
scene, but also just the whole... Did you notice how different that scene looked seeing it played out than it looked in the way they cut it and clipped it up in the trailer.
Yeah.
It looked
So-
like in the trailer, just like he shoots that and then it looks like Sub-Zero gets his arms like this.
Yeah.
And he just freezes them. That is not what happens. Sub-Zero puts a whooping on him.
Hella
and,
bad.
Like, breaks his arm the other way and then freezes him off.
Can we talk about when he...
And then you see the flesh melting because the ice is so cold. It's like making it blister.
What they say? They cauterized the wound. It was
Yeah,
so
it was
cold.
so cold it cauterized the wounds. That's the only reason he lived.
And
but what's nuts is when he pushes him off.
Yes,
smacks his head on. Like,
and it's good.
block.
Like he's like he spins and is like.
Yeah, he'd be his vertebrae be destroyed. Like he literally snapped his body. Was
He's one of Earth's champions.
Yeah, that's right. And by the way, him unlocking his inner power for that was probably one of the cooler ones. Because seeing the armor come over that metal skeleton was fucking crazy dope. And it looked a lot different.
It kind of makes me wonder if he could transform again. Or like if he could use that to go even
He may even
stronger.
go further. Yeah, who knows? I'm sure that he probably never... I loved, by the way, another one of the dope-ass moments of like the dialogue in that movie. When he fucks that dude up with the hammer. And he shakes his arm off, which he does.
He's like, "This'll do," or something like that.
I'm keeping these motherfuckers. Yeah, and he walked away. I lost.
These will fucking work.
Yeah, he does. He says some.
The
shit,
one thing
I loved it.
One thing I wish he would have done was just been like, "Oh, just do the little."
No, but
here we go.
He didn't get that one, but you know what he did do? That fucking head clap fatality.
Yeah.
And that was nutty. Like, dude, it was nutty. So, like I said, Sub-Zero's scenes were sick, right? A lot of his scenes were. His fight with Jax is super monumental because Jax was another amazing character in that movie. A surprise.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't expect that.
He was barely in it, but from what he was in, it was good.
You know when I knew I liked him? With that actor specifically, because I didn't think that from the trailer it looked right. I was like, is that Jax, or am I seeing like they just copy and pasted kind of thing? They're like, put this person there.
Yeah.
I knew that they picked the right guy when he first goes and meets Cole Young. And Cole just got his ass beat, and he's sitting with his daughter.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, that fight, blah,
like
blah,
the
blah.
first scene.
Yeah. When he walks up, and he's like this, and the camera angle is lowered to make him look huge, I was like...
I didn't notice that.
All I noticed was this dude. I looked at him, and I was like, that's Jax. And, like, he was huge. But it was...
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure the guy's big in real life, but that scene, they did it justice because you got to imagine what's happening in that scene for the sake of the audience and where the camera should be. If a man walks up and he's a big guy and you're sitting down on a workout bench with your daughter, that means you're lower. Dude. So you don't perceive the guy like me and you like this. If you were to stand up and be right here to me, you look bigger. Dude. So that camera scene and the way that the actor just walks up and he's just like, I'm Jax. Yeah. And I'm like, you're jacked. Like, you're huge, dog. Like, his arms were huge. I think why they.
I mean, he was barely in it, like
not enough.
Altogether, but I mean,
I loved his transformation. I loved as we were just saying, the Sub-Zero scene. I have one complaint about Sub-Zero. His death scene was fucking stupid when he
caught on fire and shit.
No, when he started ripping his armor off.
Oh yeah.
When he started, Sub-Zero.
I think it was supposed to be more of a personal thing. I think it's like some kind of like honor thing, like you bested me.
Yeah, like
so
I don't know what.
He made himself super vulnerable to like a kill.
If that's the case, that's.
Or it could have been like a finish him kind of like.
A woozy thing. Yeah. You're right. Maybe
that's what I got from it at least.
You're right. I didn't think about that. If that's the case, then if that was like a finish him moment,
or like
that was kind of dope.
Or like an honor kind of thing, like okay, like you've bested me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, dude. I mean,
other than that, Sub-Zero, I would say like give you a top 3 real quick. Scorpion, Sub-Zero, and Jax were like the top 3 for me. If we're gonna add a 4, Kano definitely makes that list 100%. So all the other characters for me kind of didn't fall short. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, let me do a top 3. I have to say Scorpion and Sub-Zero, but they tie for number 1. Jax and then Kung Lao.
Okay. For me, Sub-Zero, Liu Kang.
You liked him that much, did you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll talk about him next.
And
Kung Lao.
yeah, Kung Lao.
So
He
let's
was
talk
dope.
about Liu Kang real quick, because we both thought Kung Lao's the actor was dope and cut for Kung Lao.
So we
character was
should have said this way earlier when we started talking about this, but you said this off camera. You think this is like a prequel, and
Yeah.
the way they
A prequel to
portrayed
the tournament
Liu
or the
Kang, the way they portrayed Liu Kang in this, I would totally believe it because he's a fucking
He looks young.
yeah. He looks
young.
he looks pretty good. Which
By the way, though, when he took his shirt off and he started
he was
fighting,
fucking ripped.
He was stretch ripped. Like his muscles,
like
you
0%
could see
body,
the
like
fiber.
1% body fat.
No body fat. Like
hey, what's crazy though?
nutty.
Real quick. I was looking at the cast. It said Sub-Zero was Noob. You know that character, that Noob.
Oh, he played Noob Saibot. The
Do
fuck?
you remember that at all?
I don't remember that at all.
So maybe
Oh,
in the
hold up.
sequel, maybe he'll be Noob Saibot,
And then there'll be another Sub-Zero.
or maybe Sub-Zero.
Won't be in it.
Maybe Sub-Zero would be Noob, but then that's
Wow.
maybe.
That's a serious leak, right?
I'm just looking at it right now because I was looking at it and it
I
just said
I
it.
didn't know that. Hey, did you catch? I'll show you. That's dope that they brought that character, that they did that. So let me bring up another character that they Easter
Just
egged.
the first one, top right, where my finger is.
Yeah, Noob Saibot. It says it right there. It's crazy.
So maybe he's already casted for that role.
Yeah, maybe.
Nobody's caught onto it
I
yet.
could not get that one out. So
Probably felt
another
so
character
good.
that was referenced, Easter egged in the movie. You maybe noticed, maybe you didn't. So when they were
Johnny Cage.
No, Johnny Cage, of course, at the end. I was going to bring up another one that I noticed. That
Okay.
I was like, oh, shit. So when they're showing all the news clipping, I think, inside of Sonya Blade's trailer, and she's been, like, researching it, because she's, like, the one that really helps bring everybody together in reality, or how she draws everybody in it, I should say. But on the news clippings, she goes, yeah, this thing has happened for centuries and centuries. And one of the things was Baraka was showing us Baraka's people. I don't remember what they're called. The guy with the knives.
Yeah, no. I was trying to think
he
of
was
when
on
that.
like a memorial thing.
Okay, so I saw some of those
So
memorials,
that was-
but
that
they
was
were
in
just
the
so
pyramid.
quick. I didn't really.
Yeah, that was in the temple for Raiden, right? But at Sonya's place, when she was doing that, there was a scene right before they showed Scorpion in that old painting, and Cole sees him, and he has the flashback. He has the scene where he sees Scorpion in hell. Right before that, there's a news clipping, or like a clipping, not a news clipping, but like a story about this tournament, and fucking Nightwolf is on the picture.
Oh,
dude
yeah,
turns into the wolf, he's
yeah.
like the Native American
No,
fighter.
yeah, I seen that, dude.
So dope. When I seen that, I was like, I am so glad you guys didn't include him in this movie. That might have not rolled over well. Like, but at the same time, it was dope that they did give that ode. That,
Yeah.
like, at one point in time, everybody fought in this tournament, is what they said. And, like, I loved that they put the ode in there. So you just discovered that he either is going to be or played Noob Saibot Sub-Zero.
Yeah.
Played Noob Saibot and Sub-Zero, the actor. So another reference is we've already seen Baraka's people, picture of them at the tournament at the temple.
Yeah.
And then we've seen Nightwolf. So like
Dude.
there are a lot of characters that we still haven't seen. We've seen Shang Tsung, but we haven't seen Shao Kahn
Dude, so
or Shao Kahn.
yeah, no.
Yeah,
So what about him?
He wasn't in the movie at all.
No,
Shang Tsung.
Shang Tsung, yeah. So
Shang Tsung. Yeah.
I mean, he was. So characters. Let's blast through some of the characters that were barely in it. Raiden, he was kind of barely in it.
He was barely in it. Yeah, and he kind of didn't like.
He was just the pusher. He was the motivation. He was
Yeah,
the Master Roshi of the
It was
fucking
kind of
series.
like he was kind of like, hey, don't break rules.
But then
And
he
they
wanted
broke
them
rules,
to.
and then they broke rules, and he was like okay with it. Like he didn't do anything about it. Like
He was like, they don't.
I'm-
You see this dude try to kill us?
Yeah,
They don't give a fuck.
yeah, yeah, I'm out.
I know, right?
Yeah, he just zipped away. Man, like,
Yeah, but then he started teleporting
yeah,
everybody.
he's like, get the fuck out.
Everybody
of
was
here.
like, okay, I'll fucking go along with this. And he's
Yeah.
like, you go here, you go here, you go here.
I don't.
And then we'll get Sub-Zero.
So yeah, Raiden wasn't really in it. I hate to say it, but Kung Lao wasn't really in it, like at all,
Yeah.
which sucked because his character, that actor, was amazing.
He was just the trainer. He was a montage.
If they make a number 2, he's gonna be a big actor.
He better be like a fucking zombie or like.
No. I'm gonna remember. I already said it off camera. So here's my prediction for number 2. Kung Lao comes back as the resurrected for Shang Tsung and fights for that side.
And he has to fight Raiden.
Yeah, and he has to fight Liu Kang.
Ooh,
Yeah, he'll have to fight his cousin.
And then Liu Kang has to kill him.
Yeah, because I don't think there's a way to reverse them once they're in that state.
Damn.
So
this was made 10 years ago. The dude with the hat would be played by that guy, the werewolf from Twilight. I'm sorry, that just popped into my head, so I had to say it.
It would have been, and so yeah, that's one character. Cabal was fucking dope in that movie, and he
was the only fleshed out villain though.
Yeah, and he did not have any of a part.
And then I said it earlier too.
He was fucking his power.
Yeah.
The moment they showed it, I was like, oh shit! But it was when he spoke. When he spoke, I was like, I like that voice for him.
Like he's like I said, he's like he's the one who put me in the ventilator.
You remember that character?
Yeah.
He was so fucking crazy.
The one thing I hated though was like, what? They have Cable with him? Oh, please, let me fuck with him. And then all of a sudden, he's like, yeah, I said it earlier.
What happens,
he's like, yeah, just come, just join her side.
Exactly.
And then he doesn't even fight him or do anything or like trick him. Yeah.
He fucking dies. Like,
well, even like him and Cable don't even fucking have any interaction after that. Cabal, sorry.
Yeah, you're mixing up Cable from Marvel.
Yeah. I used to call him that when I was a kid too.
Yeah. So. Cabal was another one. Goro was another one. Goro has like no fucking part in that movie.
He gets his ass beat and he is the worst CGI in the whole fucking movie, bro.
I'm so glad you said that. Now, I'm not gonna hate. He is the worst.
He is the worst, dude.
It doesn't mean it's horrible.
No, whoever did him
they made him look a little funny. I don't like how skinny
he looked good.
Was.
He looked good in some parts, but there's so real quick when he's fighting and then when he comes out of the fucking building, the barn that's falling apart, and he picks up the dude.
Reaches in and
then you can hella see it literally looks like something that was like from like 2005, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck?
Shots
not real quick. Just not every part of him was fucking bad, but
you just said that too. You just said you were like, not all the scenes look bad, but a majority of Goro's scenes, which could be why he wasn't in the movie very much. Because if you think about it, one question I have was this movie made during COVID? If it was, it makes sense because look at the interactions they have. Not many people are around each other actually that often in this movie.
Yeah.
At most, there are 6 people together on scene at a time.
That's very true. I didn't even notice that. Oh my god, that's a good observation.
Right away, I was like, I wonder if this is a COVID movie, pre-COVID or post-COVID.
It's the only time is I think in the very beginning when they're all fighting, but even then it's like
there's a few
it's an empty little gym.
For the record, are they all together, or were those just a bunch of B-rolls of people? 3 people, 3
those
people, 3 people.
Those are the people that like brought like the cast part of
no. What
if part of the filming crew?
Yeah, or what if it was just 3 people standing together and they filmed them screaming, and then they took another video of 3 people screaming and they did that.
So deep faking it onto there.
To make it look like a crowd.
They did the Spartan Sparta
300.
Blue screen. They blue screened it.
No, I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just saying that the most of the movie is that way. I forgot why I brought that up.
Because of Goro.
Because Goro. That might be why Goro's CGI was so bad.
Yeah.
In I mean, it wasn't horrible.
There's a few parts where it was really bad.
We're shitting all over it. In reality, like you said, if he has his parts are put into quarters, which that's even giving it too much. Because he really isn't in the movie that much.
3 minutes, if that.
Yeah, if that.
5 minutes. Like most.
30 to 40% of his CGI is kind of garbage. The rest is okay. Some of it's okay. The close-up shots weren't too bad.
No, they were good, yeah.
So Goro's another character that was barely in it. Scorpion was barely in it. That's another one. Liu Kang barely had any real clip. I mean, he fucked up Cabal like within.
Melina died real quick too.
Melina dies really quick, and it's funny that Cole needed Sonya's help for that.
I know, right?
I was like, what?
What's Natara?
Natara, that sounds right.
I think that's the
girl with the wings.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, because remember he's like, a beast is so beautiful.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so she was barely in it too, and she got fucking
even Shang
flawless victoried.
Yeah, she got fucked up, bro. That was such a good scene. That was the scene.
That was probably one of the best scenes in the whole movie.
Yeah, the fatalities in that movie, were fucking good. They were really good.
They were really fucking good.
Yeah,
dude.
they now they fixed some things. I think they fixed Scorpion's voice.
Yes,
because it sounded different to me, and I actually liked it when he was like in the trailer when he first does it. If everybody remembers, it's like
yeah,
and it's like,
but his hella
fuck?
calm too. Is like
yeah, he's like get over. But in the movie, it kind of seemed like he literally was like get over here, and like it was actually pretty good. Go
this dude, whose name is Riku or whatever. Reiko, yeah.
Yeah, that was the bald guy. We're just looking.
He's a wrestler, so he might.
Oh, maybe that's why he looks like the guy.
He's a WWE, yeah.
Oh, he's a wrestler? Oh, that might... Then he's probably not the guy I'm thinking of. That's not who I'm thinking of. I'm sorry. But Mad Max is where I know him from. And Jet Li's Fearless. Yeah, and Fast and the Furious. Yeah, definitely. This guy is not who I thought he was. Sorry. He's not in Daredevil. But that was... those... There's a few characters that are not really in it. If you want to be honest, the main cast is Sonya Blade, Jax, Kano, and Cole Young. Those are the Sub-Zero.
Sub-Zero,
because Sub-Zero is like
and
the
kind
main
of
villain.
and a little bit of I mean, he's a sub character, but Liu Kang.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can argue that Liu Kang only had like 2 more minutes of screen time than Kung Lao did.
Yeah.
Like in reality, he did the extra fight and he survived, but it was dope though.
He had the little mortality or the fatality.
Dude, yeah, when Kung Lao fucking died, and it was such a crazy scene.
It was, dude.
Because
like,
because when they went to the void and it was all white, and fucking Liu Kang kept Kung Lao's hat, and he took the red band off and put it on, and I was like,
that was pretty
I was like, oh my god, it actually looks like him now.
Like about to play a game,
they
huh?
designed that shit. They really did that part well, because at first, during the beginning of the movie, I was like, he looks like him, but I kept my generic thought, where I was like, he looks generic. But at that point of the movie was when they fixed the character for me. When he put the red band in, and the character like eased into the role, like so good. But all of these guys were really not in it. I mean, anybody wondering, Johnny Cage is not in it, but his poster is.
He's gonna be in
number 2.
Number 2
for sure, because Cole Young sees his poster.
They did the right thing though. They showed the belt buckle and they just promoted. There will be a Johnny Cage, but they're not saying who is.
It was the picture was all like kind of cartoonized. He looked hella buff.
Which we got to see the splits. Johnny Cage do the splits, bro.
We didn't, did we?
No, well, no.
I'm
saying we're gonna
we
have
will.
to
Yeah,
in the next one see Johnny Cage do the splits.
I really like that movie Scorpion's Revenge or whatever it's called, where the main movie it's mainly about Scorpion, but in that movie Raiden's gathering all the Earthrealm fighters, and Johnny Cage is so fucking arrogant and cocky and like just the typical movie prep guy that when he gets there, Sonya and everybody's like, he can't fight, so they're protecting him the whole time. And then like at the end of the movie, Johnny Cage like steps it up and he goes to help Sonya Blade, and sorry, I thought I'd seen something on my camera. He goes to help Sonya Blade, and he fucks up a bunch of monsters, and Sonya Blade in the movie's like, holy shit, Johnny Cage can fight. And like, I don't want that scene to be in the number 2, but I would love if they made the character like as if he's kind of a pussy at first, and then there's that giant build-up scene where him and another character just go fucking beast mode and wreck a bunch of like demons from the I can't remember, Outer World is what it's called, Outer World. From Outer World. I think that's right. But Johnny Cage's character is not in it at all. You're right. They did the right thing, because I'm pretty sure they don't know who's going to be. Yeah. They don't know who's going to play. They don't even know. I bet you they don't even know if there's a number 2 yet. I bet
probably
you they
not,
have not
dude.
even started writing a number 2.
I mean, they got to set it up first, but yeah.
Yeah, is there? I mean, that's all in all, dude. The movie's great.
So you would recommend it?
I'd recommend it to
Definitely
probably
recommend it.
Anybody that likes action films.
Because I'd definitely recommend it to.
Even if you're not a fucking video game fan, Like I would highly.
It's a good movie. It's a good watch. It's you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's one of those things.
It helps if you're a Mortal Kombat fan, though.
Yeah,
It does.
definitely is. So I wanted to name off some things and see what do you think if they should make a movie into.
Oh, dope! I like
All right.
this.
So Street Fighter, obviously.
Okay, that's your first one.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna be quick with. Street Fighter is something I've always wanted to see done good, and it's never been done good ever. And I think that the last 2 movies they made were the hatchet in the wood in the stump,
Yeah.
where they were like, "I'm done." The
It's
hatchet
just-
in the stump, like it's done. Like
It's
and,
like
and
they
I-
kill themselves.
Yeah, I think Hollywood real. Now, if somebody were to come back, and if they were to make that movie again, I would argue that Zack Snyder would be a good pick for that. For Street Fighter.
Oh, okay. That's a
As
really
long
good
as-
take on.
Yeah, as long as they were like, "Yo, can you slow down on the slow mo?" Yeah, because
Slow Duke!
hold on. That's so good. Did you say slow Duke?
I did it, but that's even better.
Yeah, all I know is that's so fucking perfect because as you did that, I realized how good of an idea that actually is to see a Hadouken in slow motion would be. Yeah, dude. No.
Well, I mean, if in the games too, they do the supers, it's like,
Boom, boom. Yeah, dude, no, because it goes boom, boom, boom.
and you even see their faces too, and their eyes get hella big. They're like,
Yeah, dude. I would like to see a right director do it. So fuck yeah, I want to see that. Is that the question? You said movies I'd like to see get what do I think about these movies being remade or?
yeah. Okay, so next one.
No, that's the question though, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Okay.
I just
yeah.
want to be specific.
So I have a few more.
Please go. Yeah, please go. And I won't overextend my answers.
Tekken 7 or Tekken in general.
Okay, so the first Tekken independent movie they made wasn't actually that bad. It was okay.
Wait. They made a Tekken movie.
They did. They made like 2.
Was it American?
It was foreign and it was a B film.
Okay, no, it wasn't
doesn't count.
American.
It doesn't
so,
count.
yeah. Sorry to whoever made that movie.
Yeah, I
I'm sure
watched.
I'm sure it was okay for
It
the
was-
time.
It was okay. Yeah, it wasn't like none of the real characters are basically in it. It's kind of lame. Or the characters that the fans would want to see. Tekken, I have to pass on. I think that in another couple years when technology gets a little better, it'll be really cool to see characters like from that realm. But unfortunately, I don't think those characters translate well.
So funny enough,
what
I have
do
the
you think?
opposite opinion because I really feel like Tekken would be one of the better things to make into a movie
Why
because
is that? I'm curious.
we've seen Kevin Smith's Dogma.
Fuck yeah.
If we can make a demigod angel creature fly around in 2000 by quote unquote barely amateur filmmaker at the time look
Yeah.
good with this storyline, the only thing that would be hard I think with this is finding a cast and actually having writers and good writers
Yeah.
like
The
veteran writers enough to be like, I don't want this to be a stupid fucking, like I don't want it to end up becoming a Dragon Ball movie.
Yes, that's the problem that I said, and oh god, yeah, that's the problem for me. Is exactly what you just said. I agree with that. Okay, if it was everybody's competent on that set,
Yeah.
fuck yeah, you're getting a great movie.
So Soul Calibur.
The fighting game, you mean? You don't
Yeah,
mean
yeah.
the okay. The King Arthur story. No,
No,
basically
not
the
that.
same thing. Basically, if you've played the games, though, it's kind of the same story, though.
Yeah.
That's why it's named that way. But yes to that. Fuck yeah, I would love to see the fight, the way that they design the fights,
Yeah.
choreograph the fights. Soul Calibur is a very fast-paced fucking game, or it used to be, and the fights, the impact of the fights of the blows in that video game were always really different from other fight games. So that would be something that could be really incorporated into a movie.
It would be pretty sick. And this game has had
Nintendo and
Gonzo, stop.
it's had
Nintendo and PlayStation and Xbox characters like
Darth Vader, Yoda.
Darth Vader. So if they ever did do this, I don't know if they'd be able to get the rights to them, but maybe
How
if like
sick would
maybe
that
if
be?
like Disney or like Microsoft or somebody like sponsors
If they
them.
teamed up like Sony and Disney did.
But
Oh,
I know
that'd be so sick if they could
there's-
include those characters.
there's one character I think everybody would love to see is Ivy.
Poison Ivy.
No, Ivy on
From Metroid.
Soul Calibur.
I'm not familiar with the characters, the rosters in that roster in the game.
She's just like one of the most Fab 2 characters of all time in Soul Calibur. Of course.
We're in America.
We're in America. We love fucking fap into our cartoon.
Yeah, I would say
characters.
Soul Calibur's a yeah. I'd watch that fucking. I'd definitely want to see that remade. I mean, made into an actual live action film, as long as again competent writers and creators are on it, and they don't just do a generic ass cast.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would piss me off.
Yeah, I think Soul Calibur would be kind of a hard one to make.
It'd be so hard because my thing is that movie would have to be a fight movie, and you could not.
They would have to. They would really have to like nail down the cosmetics and
Fuck.
CGI. And
Yeah, and it could not be a 2-hour movie. It'd have to be like an hour and a half. Like, I'm sorry, it could not be anything over an hour and a half until you built it up. Now, if you built it up and made a good first one, then we could talk about you boys hitting 2 hours.
So you're talking about making a universe, kind of like
No,
a 3 or 4.
because there's a fuck ton of characters in that game.
No, yeah, there is, but
Yeah,
but it would make sense to
I just don't
have
see...
a base characters and then have a villain and then build that villain off other villains and
Yeah,
like
exactly, dude. Exactly. That'd be a hard game to do.
All right, so this is one I really want to talk
about.
or at least hear what your opinion is, because I think this one would be a really good one. I think they could do it, especially with the company behind it and the characters that they get involved in it. Killer Instinct.
We've talked about this before off camera. And that's a fantastic fucking idea. And they could really do good. Now, I'll go one step further. Whoever the fuck made this Mortal Kombat movie would be amazing at making the Killer Instinct movie.
Dude.
Like, as long as... what I'm trying to say is, whoever makes the movie needs to be a fucking fan of the video game. If they make the movie. Because, okay, I got a good question for you. Now, now you sparked my interest. Because we've talked about this off camera before. Who's the main character for you in that game? Like, I don't mean in the game. I mean in the movie. If you got to pick who you wanted to see drive it, who is it?
I mean, we're either gonna say this. So there's two characters that I could see playing the main character or the villain, and they're both could play both.
Oh,
Cinder,
yeah.
Fulgore.
Yeah.
Those are the two characters. Obviously.
That's okay. Yeah, all right. And those that sucks because those answer both questions. Who's the hero and who's the villain? Because not only that, but Cinder becomes.
I think the villain could probably end up being Glacius,
Dude,
because he's an alien.
Man, that storyline has never been a storyline, unfortunately.
But there's also, I mean, there's T-Hawk, which I don't know if you can even get away with doing something like that in today's movies.
No, you can't. No.
Which is funny enough. There's like 500 T-Hawks in like every fighting game.
Yeah.
So let's come up with an original fucking Native American type character.
At least inspired it upon their culture, like a god of their culture or somebody they worship. Or
Django is another character that could be.
Django would be fucking perfect.
Django,
Django, the dude, the boxer dude.
No, that's DJ Combo.
Oh no, what's
That's Will's character,
Django's
bro.
the ninja character, right? Django?
Yeah.
He's the ninja?
Yeah.
Okay, I know who you're talking about. Okay, I was thinking, yeah, he would be good, or the boxer character would be good as like a follow-up. That would be an amazing movie if they allowed the violence. And now this is the tricky part. You know how in this Mortal Kombat they focused more on the fatalities and the lingo, and like the characters' looks in Mortal Kombat, right? In Killer Instinct, they'd have to do all of that, but a must for fans if they wanted to get that stamp of approval. The Ultra on rooftops and knocking them off rooftops, and it would have to look right.
It would really be
hard.
So hard.
So hard, dude. That's why I said that, because you can't just. Because for me, that game is combo breaker, ultra, and like, and it's like it sucks because that dialogue doesn't fit in.
It would have to be like Marvel-esque. Like I hate how we always bring
Yeah, we
up
have to bring it
Marvel,
up. You know,
but it would be like something where they.
You know who would be dope? Okay, for me, there has to be two directors making Killer Instinct. One of them to just entertain people that might do dope if he actually worked in the like CGI department, if he actually cared about CGI, which this director doesn't.
Yeah.
Is Quentin Tarantino. If he could make a CGI movie that was
He's more
full,
practical
I know,
effects.
I know. But if he wasn't, because he's been in talks of making
If he made a Killer Instinct
he's
movie,
in
there would
talks
be
of
no
making
ultras.
there was a thing. He was in negotiation for a while to make a Star Trek. And can you imagine that fucking movie? Probably would have been shit. But like,
I don't think it would.
It would have been garbage.
Yeah,
but
probably.
I'm just giving an example of someone who understands brutality. It has to be someone who understands brutality. Like, it cannot be Joss Whedon from Marvel. It cannot be fucking what's that dude? The dude from who plays Happy in Iron Man.
Oh yeah,
he's a director.
John, whatever.
Whatever his name is. He directed Iron Man. Can't remember his fucking name. I'll remember later. But it can't be someone like that. It has to be someone who understands the brutality of that game. And there's a lot of ways that you can work in their lingo. Where it's just, you gotta hit it just right. So that movie is really hard to make. But for me, what I really wanted to say is a must that has to be in it is the levels. You have to be you have to be on the rooftop. You have to be in front of the street in the alleyway and the blah blah blah. Like the levels.
No,
I think is kind of would be an ode to the fans. Like, hey, we really are glad that we got to make this,
dude. Yeah, that's a good point to make with the levels and everything. Because if you can't do it, I mean, you're not going to be able to do the fucking 50 punch combo in like 5 seconds. You know what I mean? So you have to be more practical with the levels and like the rooftops, like you were saying,
the fight scenes,
and
now,
maybe have like a character like Idol and have them look really good. You know what I mean? And just be like,
the CGI for that movie and costumes would be really hard too.
Yeah, especially for full gore.
Come on, for fucking Riptor or Riptide.
Riptor, yeah.
Yeah, Riptor. Imagine for Riptor,
he's a whole fucking...
He's a fucking dinosaur. He's a velociraptor.
I think the easiest person... I mean...
He's a velociraptor that knows Kung Fu.
Cinder would be the easiest person because
he's
just fucking Fantastic Four.
Yeah, Johnny fucking...
Flame On.
Yeah, Johnny Flame On.
Yeah.
A flamer. The Human Torch.
Yeah.
Now there's a way that it could be, the combo breaker thing could be done really dope. And I could think of one just on a whim right now. The way the ultras and combos could be displayed really well. Because you were saying that, you're like, it'd be really hard to display because if Killer Instinct
50
is anything,
hit combo in like 10 seconds.
If Killer Instinct is anything, it's that. It's overly done combos that piss you off. But they're fun as fuck. And there's a really good way they could display that. In most movies that you watch, including in Mortal Kombat, it goes like this. He goes, I go, he goes, somebody wins, and then it reverses for the end scene, right? Like, that's usually the case. It's usually like this, back and forth, back and forth. They could be very unique and do something like a 50-hit combo in fucking in a 1-minute scene where it's like, an example, imagine Cinder fighting Riptor. And Cinder goes to hit, and he blocks him. In this movie scene, the way they could display an Ultra would be easily done with Riptor just beasting out for 2 minutes straight, nonstop hitting him. And how cool would that be?
That would be pretty
scene in
sick.
the movie, and it ends with Riptor like hitting him, and it's like
launching him with his fucking tail or something.
Yeah, he hits him with his tail, and he flies off the rooftop.
They're in
and
an
lands on the
arena, and
street.
some guys like Ultra.
I just hope that if they did make that movie, they didn't make it corny. Instead, made the fight scene short, and like you just said, which is, sorry, but kind of corny, if like he hit him with this not this part, and he fell off the roof. So this is where I'm going to say it's corny when he lands and someone speaks. He's falling and he hits. This is how they could make it corny, is if somebody's standing there and they go, that was ultra ridiculous. I'd hate the movie. I'd fucking hate it. But if they made it to where the ultras and the combo breakers were like a part of the story where someone can hit you 100 times in a matter of seconds, but they slowed the scenes down.
That'd be pretty
and
sick.
it was like normal time. And
like
you just got to see somebody fuck
Sherlock
somebody up.
Holmes.
Exactly like Sherlock Holmes with Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah,
where
so
it goes into a breakdown like that, but instead of it being short,
and narrated and stuff,
yeah,
like
extended
punches
out
to the chest, and it would just be like,
yeah, yeah, dude. See, imagine that in your head. How
that was
cool
actually a good example.
That'd be really cool. That exactly how you just said is a great example of how that would be. How I would envision that.
I'm just gonna cut this off real quick. Real quick though, would you want to see Injustice, Mortal Kombat
Versus DC.
No DC EU, no Mortal Kombat EU or whatever.
Just
Mortal Kombat versus Injustice. Real quick, yes or no?
no, because I'm over the versus movies. I'm over them, unfortunately.
I would love to see Joker fight fucking Scorpion though.
Me too. I'd love to see
saying.
all those characters, but usually when they do a versus movie, it usually means that they're burying the series for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Alien versus Predator. We're probably not going to get another one of those for another 10 years.
Would you want Alien vs. Predator vs. Injustice or no, I'm just kidding.
Never.
Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this this podcast episode. Thank you, Josh, for having me over.
Oh, yeah, bro.
If you have anything you want to include or say that we missed or anything include in the comments.
Drop them comments, bro.
Yep,
Hit the like button. Gosh darn it.
And any of those games you want to see that turned into movies, let us know, or anything that we missed.
Yeah, we'll get on it. We'll talk about it in one of the future videos. Drop a comment. We'll talk about it.
There we go. All right, but 61 in the books now. Hope you guys have a good night. Get ready for the summer. It's going to be crazy, but 2021 summer is going to be good.
Hell yeah.
Shnerdcast out.
Out. Super Friends Unite.
Boop, 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 boop.